Hello and thanks for watching this video. So I've got a 2013 Zafira B here for sale. It's been a taxi. We own a small taxi company in rural Kent, and this is for the time we've owned it, it's pretty much been sort of the spare, if you like. It's not done huge mileage. Some of our cabs have done nearly 500,000 miles and the triggers brooms. You know, things break, we just fix them. We don't throw cars away, even when it comes to putting engines and things. You know, we find it more economical to do that than to scrap a car. But this, although it is quite high mileage, relatively speaking, it's not. Yeah, it's 180, nearly 182,000 miles, but it drives superb. I'll rev it up. You know, there's no faults with it at all. It drives smooth as anything. It's just had 4 injectors, brand new injectors. We had a problem with the sump filling up with diesel, so the injectors were leaking diesel into the oil sump, and consequently we had to replace the injectors. So that was probably more than the car's worth, to be honest. Probably more than it's going to sell for. But I've got a huge amount of invoices for this car. It's just had, you know, we can't, with running a small taxi firm with a small fleet of cars, we can't afford to cut corners. This isn't like, you know, this car is what it is. It's going to be a, you know, a cheap, inexpensive, economical family runaround for someone. It's got 7 seats. It's economical. But I think you find with a lot of these cars that have been owned by families, is they don't want to spend a lot of money on them, and they get stuff bodged and just done on the cheap. We don't. We, you know, on the same applies for this as any cars on our fleet. If something breaks, we fix it, and it's done it's done properly, and it's done probably the first time, because we can't afford to have cars off the road, quite frankly. Sometimes you can get stuff done on the cheap, but it never pays off in the long run. So it's been well cared for, it's been looked after. Anything it's needed, it's had. Private plate there, obviously, YT06 cab, that's coming off. I can't remember off the top of my head what the original plate was. I've never had an instance yet where I've taken a private plate off a car and the DVLA have not reallocated the original. So I'm 99% sure this will get the original plate put back on it. I put that on the listing, I can't remember. But it's a 2013, it's not an 06. These little decals, they're just vinyl. Jug of boiling water over that and that picks off with a finger. It won't leave any residue or any marks behind it. Obviously, there's a taxi plate there, that will come off. It's a bit grubby, sorry, I didn't have time to run it up the car wash before making this video. It's been parked in our yard, sort of next to a hedge, so it's got some stuff on the roof going on. But the only other thing is this roof sign. It's literally just 2 little screws underneath the rubber seal there. You won't see anything once that's removed. It's got a taxi meter that's literally just double-sided tape to the windscreen, so that'll be removed professionally. No dangling horrible wires or anything anywhere. So what else to say, really? Let's say I've got hundreds of invoices for this car. It's always been serviced and maintained as you would expect a taxi to be. It's MOT'd twice a year. No faults, no errors on the dashboard. Parking brake, that's to say I haven't got my seatbelt on, that's to say the door's open. So, you know, it runs beautifully, and you get nearly half a tank of diesel with it, free of charge. Fancy that. It is a bit grubby on the inside, I'm sorry. But yeah, the seats could do with a bit of a shampoo, I won't lie. But it's a good solid motor. This will serve someone nicely for a cheap family run around, say 7 seats. It's economical on diesel. Yeah, say it's 6-month MOT. It was MOT'd 6 months ago. So as I'm taking it off the fleet, it would normally be due. It's a 6-monthly MOT around about this time. But as I'm selling it, I won't bother. But there's nothing wrong with this car. So I don't know really what to value it at. I'm going to have a look online at roughly what similar vehicles are going for. I mean, say I imagine somewhere between 1,500, 2 grand, something like that. Whatever I list it at is going to be the minimum. So don't bother making silly offers. It will be an auction, say for example I might start at £1,000 or 1,500 or 2,000, whatever, but it won't be a reserve. So place a bid. Yeah, good luck to you. All right, I'll leave it there. Cheers. Yeah, got a few cars parked up at the yard here at the moment. That SsangYong's for sale, so if you're interested in a SsangYong 7-seat 4-wheel drive with leather seats, that I've also got a listing that ends sooner than this one, but this one hasn't been listed yet. That one's already for sale. Whenever I park these up, because these have been our sort of spare at the moment, and we've got too many kicking around. That's why that one's for sale, SsangYong, and why this one's for sale. We're going to keep this as a spare, and an 8-seater, 9-seater Transit Custom. So these two have got to go. But whenever I sort of park these up, and I think they're going to be here for a few weeks, I always park them up in gear and with the handbrake off, because we don't want them binding. And I always disconnect the battery. Nice Bosch battery on there. It's fully charged, so I know this car starts on the button, starts first time, and the battery's good. So I'm going to disconnect that now. Hopefully it's going to be a 10-day listing, so in a couple of weeks someone will come and take this away. All right, thanks for watching.